Dude, welcome back to the Dudes and Sports Podcast. I'm your host, PC, and we've got another great show for you today. Hey, the dynamic duo is back. Kay Stelt, that 10-day contract is really getting to us. We maybe have offered him a full year contract, but yet again, this 10-year contract continues to become a thing with old Kay Stelt. So he's not available today. I did hear that Howard was actually working closely with Nike and Air Jordan and making the next Cam Ward shoe. I've heard in the grapevines, he's helping with the design there, so that's why he can't be on the podcast tonight. But like I said, dynamic duo is here for your weekly sports action here. Main man for Way Out West, P4. What is going on, sir?
Hello, folks. We're back. I wasn't here last week. I was at Sunday Night Football at SoFi. That was pretty fun. Awesome stuff there. What else should I go? I went to the UCLA game at the Rose Bowl. That was pretty fun. Haven't been there before. That's kind of history right there. So some fun stuff over the last couple of days. You got to go out. You got to support sport. You got to get outside. Thanksgiving, a lot to be thankful for. Hanging out with family, friends, all that kind of good jazz. Then we've got right now we've got a good NFL slate. Jets won earlier today. Jets, Jets. Last second field goal by Nick Folk. Fun fact, Aaron Glenn and Nick Folk were teammates on the Jets.
Nice.
Now he coaches him. That's crazy.
That is pretty cool.
But other than that, Jets are pretty good. Mets, we'll see what happens with them. Dudes in Sports Chat, I mean, you mentioned Nick Howard. I guess Nick Howard, to do this Cam Ward shoe deal, is taking time off being an MLB agent. So
Yeah,
we'll see.
The chat's been on fire for sure about baseball talk in the middle of. At the beginning of December, we're already talking about baseball around here.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Soto contract became official December 4th of last year. So we're about in the time where weird stuff, stuff is going to start happening or not, right? And what I've alluded to, I think we've got a little slate to talk about baseball. I'll kind of save it for that, but there's going to be a chance for stuff to go pretty regular or stuff to go really weird, especially with this Nimmo Marcus Simeon thing. We'll talk about that. What else? I mean, that kind of does it. We're getting into the indoor sports season pretty much. Basketball, wrestling, all that kind of good stuff. Bo Nix is just the weirdest, goofiest quarterback. He's every one of his throws is 3 inches away from being the greatest quarterback or being the worst.
Yeah.
Hello, folks. Let's get into the show. Yeah, this is pretty cool, huh?
Yeah, we're gonna get right into it, of course, as we always do. Let's start talking about. He did mention the Jets getting a win this week. We are gonna talk about the NFL slate and the playoff look forward. Let's see kind of who's looking at that bubble line and who is looking on the outside in. Let's talk about the Turkey Day Thanksgiving games. We'll obviously talk about the Chiefs last because there's going to be a whole thing. I'm sure that P4 is going to try and rage bait me, and I probably fall for it. So it is what it is. But let's start with the early game. The Packers beat the Lions 31-24. Jordan Love, 4 touchdowns. Great game for him. Kind of a nice little comeback there, especially since the NFC North is so kind of jam-packed there with the Bears at the top. Now the Packers are 1 game behind, and the Lions are now falling down to more 2 to 3 games behind. So it's going to be really interesting to see that. P4, do you think the Lions, the NFC is pretty stacked. Is the Lions a playoff team, yes or no?
Yeah.
Think so?
I mean, will they make are they a playoff team or will they make the playoff is kind of two different questions. I want to be cornered here.
No. In your opinion, do you think they will make the playoffs?
I mean, yeah, I don't know. The fucking Bears, who do they play? The Titans 6 more times?
They play the Packers twice. And they play the Packers twice. Play the Packers, Browns, Packers, 49ers,
Packers are 8-3.
So they've got
NFC.
Four to
I
five,
guess
pretty
they'd be
top
the 3rd
tier
team.
Yeah.
Packers could win the division. With this win, Packers got now a straight shot. Now you say they play the Bears twice to win the division.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's a lot of teams in that 7-5, 6-6 type of range that we're looking at here. I mean, that's
and the AFC is just a little tick below that, and we'll talk about the AFC in just a second. But yeah, the NFC is good division. I mean, we'll talk about the Rams. I mean, if you would have asked me yesterday, I would have said the Rams are the best team in the NFC, no
Yeah.
question. Um, they just beat the snot out of the Bucks, and then you go, oh well, actually, they just lost to the Panthers. And you're
Yeah.
like, what the fuck?
I don't know
Um,
what's going on over
so
in the
yeah,
NFC.
I think the Lions are real good. Um, they got an explosive offense. They have a team that can do some stuff. We'll see. I mean, Jameis Williams just keeps on running 10-yard in routes.
Yeah.
So I mean, just
That's
hit the
all you
big.
need from him, though. Like his 10-yard end, now let him make a play downfield if he can with the ball in his hand.
Yeah, but it could
It
get
does hurt to
stale
not
and
have
easy.
Laporta.
Like right,
Laporta
you
is
got
out for the rest of the year. Now, Amon-Ra just went out. We don't know how long he's out for. That could be a huge factor of not having those weapons on your offense. I mean, you still have Jameer, and you still have Montgomery in the backfield, and you still have J-Mo, and you've got some relatively decent wide receivers there. And the defense is still basically intact. It's still a little banged up, but not too bad.
got Goff.
Yep, they got Goff. Goff's been playing pretty decent as well. So very interesting to see there. I guess we'll see for the next few. The Lions, their last five are the actually they have four because they have a bye week. So we're still having byes in week 14, like dummies. The Cowboys, the Rams. Oh, excuse me, they have five left. They've already had their bye. Yep. So Cowboys at the Rams, the Steelers at the Vikings, and then at the Bears. So they've got 2 or 3 competitive games. There's a pretty difficult one. That Cowboys game next week is going to be a huge one for both of those squads. That is a Sunday night game, I believe. It's the 4th. Oh, no, it's Thursday Night Football. Thursday Night Football on Prime this week. So that'll be one you definitely want to tune into, especially for that NFC playoff race. On Thursday as well, the Bengals with Joey Burr back beat up on the Ravens 32-14. This Bengals team looked obviously a lot better with their starting quarterback in there, but what was really impressive was their defense actually looked like they were alive a little bit instead of completely deflated. This entire football season, you've seen that defense get beat up over and over and over again. And now, I don't know if it's because Burrow's back, it helps them with their confidence, but that makes the AFC North interesting again, especially with the result of the Steelers game today. But
Bo just threw it straight to Bobby Wagner. Bobby
Oh,
wasn't
good.
even covering
Good.
anybody.
I want to see Denver lose so bad. That'll really help. But the Ravens now fall to 6-6. They have to win their division, or they might not make the playoffs. I mean, that division's a pile of horse shit right now. But
Look at him. He's going to stand right in the middle.
it is
And
what
then
it is.
he's
There,
gonna
good
run.
job for Joe Burr. Last game on Thursday was technically the middle game. The last one I want to talk about for Thursday was the Chiefs falling 31.
Whoa. Bengals, Ravens, Joe Burr, good. This is the example of and I'm going to piggyback on what you said about the Bengals defense. They're a big play defense. There's a couple teams that are built to bend, not break. They're one of those teams that are built to just kind of live off of big plays. So when they don't get big plays, nothing really good happens for them. But they got the big plays that they needed, and they took advantage of it. Jamar Chase, coming off of his suspension of spitting on Jalen Ramsey, he showed out. Turkey Day, all that, whatever. Chase Brown, I don't know. Like, what if Brees Hall went to the Bengals?
That'd be interesting.
That'd be a good squad.
Yeah, they'd help out on that running back room specifically. That's kind of their only weak spot, especially if Burr is
On the
healthy.
offense.
On the offense, yes, obviously. But I mean, if Burr's back, then that offense looks pretty nasty too.
Yeah, Joe Burrow's probably going to be a Jet next year. So.
Okay, whatever. You want Fernando? Let's not even talk about that.
Archer Manning. Did you see that run?
He's not going this year. He's gonna get paid bunch of $1 million to play at Texas. I think he needs another year, but that's my own personal opinion.
I'll wait.
The Chiefs lose to the Cowboys 31-28. Patty throws for 4 touchdowns, and we still can't win a football game. Consistent drops hurt really bad. There was a few key third down plays that, especially Rashee Rice dropped 2 passes. Travis had his 1 drop that always doesn't help. The corners got cooked all night. Doesn't matter what you want to say about the penalties. And I know I was all over our chat talking penalties. But at the end of the day, they got cooked. The defensive corners you cannot hold the guy when he's breaking out of a route. You just can't. You can't get there early. You can't make it close, especially when you're playing in Dallas, right? Because you kind of see that specifically, and I know the Chiefs get their fair share of calls as well, because that's obvious as well. But you could definitely see where the Chiefs made a big play. Did see like a lot. There was a lot of yellow on the field. Now, were they valid yellows? Not every time. I thought the Josh Simmons, this is one play specific out of obviously a huge game. Josh Simmons had a nice pancake block. They called a holding call on it. Whatever, is what it is. I was on a big third down reception. Could have really flipped the game around. But at the end of the day, the defense couldn't get a stop to save. Patrick played really well. Four touchdowns, no turnovers. It's just the formula, and we've been saying this on this show week after week after week. The formula has not changed, and they have figured out the formula. You need to throw in something different. We need to switch some things up. I'm hoping. I love Travis Kelce to death. I hope it's his last season. I hope he goes and makes $1 billion on Amazon with his podcast with his brother and marrying, the most popular female.
He's a free agent. Why doesn't he go somewhere else?
No,
somewhere that's gonna win.
No, he's done. I think
what?
He's done. You're getting paid, like $10 million for your podcast, and you're marrying Taylor Swift.
Not like playing the game.
Yeah, well, he's gonna find a job next on Monday Night Football next to his brother, so it's good.
It's not like playing. Some of these guys like to play.
I'm not saying he doesn't like to play. I don't think it's going to be. I think he's got other opportunities offside the football field that's not going to matter as much.
Yeah, no. Yeah, but playing.
No, I understand.
Even his brother. His brother was like an undersized center for 20 years.
Yeah, he said he would still love to come back. But he thinks his body is in shape. And I think Travis maybe is getting a little bit. No, I don't know. That would. No. I can't even entertain the thought of that. That would be unbelievably awful, and I hope
him in Cincinnati would be good, or Buffalo.
Yeah, I would love to see him, retire. Yeah, I would rather see him retire than that. I might burn my jersey, actually, my Super Bowl jersey, if he goes that way. No, I won't do that because that's ridiculous. But I'm not Nick Howard where the Titans lost. I'm not like that. I'm much more mature than that man himself. But 6-6, not looking good. We've had this conversation on our text threads, obviously P4, but from your non-biased opinion, obviously my opinion is biased. I'm not going to say it's not. Can the Chiefs make the playoffs? Yes or no? Let me rephrase. Will they make the playoffs? Yes or no?
Ooh, I still think so. I mean, I think the AFC. Oh, they're 1-5 away. Holy smokes. Yeah. Hopefully they have some home games coming up.
They do have some home games coming up. Let me give you the rest of the schedule, and then you can kind of think about this a little, ponder a little bit longer. They do play the Chargers.
So, man.
They play the Texans at home, the Chargers at home, at Tennessee.
I hope the Colts collapse. That's my answer to the question.
Yeah.
If the Colts are picking in the top 10 and we got 2 top 10 picks, I don't even care if we go quarterback. Yeah, take that really good linebacker and that really good offensive lineman or defensive lineman or corner that you like or whatever, right? Take those guys that aren't going to really help necessarily win. But hey, like PC's saying, oh, you're winning too much. I mean, this turned into a Jet thing, but yeah, I mean, I'm cool on waiting for a quarterback. We got 3 next year. You think we're going to run shit this year with fucking 2 first-round picks? We got 3 next year. So I'm pretty pumped. And that's the Arch Manning draft. I'll wait for Arch. I'll say Tyrod. Hey man, I watch that every week. I was talking to your we were in hanging out on the Discord today. We were BSing, watching the Jet game with one of PC's buddies. Jets, it's always entertaining.
Yeah.
Justin Fields, it wasn't even entertaining because it's like running the ball, but it's like QB power, and it's like not Cam Newton. It's like he's like a fast running back, and you're keeping him in a cage. You got to let him like punt return, get him out in space. Like there is a way to make Justin Fields good. It's not a sustainable way to win football games. Yeah. I mean, right? It's like saying that you're gonna build an offense off like you're gonna do a wing T, one of these. Like yeah, it worked. Like there's a way to do it, but it doesn't mean it's gonna happen. Mike Leach wouldn't have been a great NFL coach, but. Anyway, I totally believe in the Chiefs. I mean, it's hard, and even if they they have to make it. right? Or else it's all. Oh, they
Throw
don't
everything.
make it.
If the Chiefs don't win, throw everything in the fire and restart.
Yes, I guess that's my question to you is like what happens if they don't? I mean, I still think they do. It's hard for me, especially after watching this, and I've seen the Patriots go through their little dips as a Jet fan, and it never really mattered. But if are you that ready to get rid of it all?
No, no, I don't think the whole formula.
I mean, this is a pretty
needs to be
successful
dead.
franchise for
No,
the
you're
most part.
right,
I mean,
100%.
you don't really.
The main pieces.
Is it the Steph Curry Warriors and the Steve Kerr Warriors, or is it the David Black Cavs, where you're like, oh, it wasn't really.
Nah,
Maybe this wasn't the
I think
sauce.
the dynasty is fine. I think they just need some different pieces. The defensive line is horrible, and Chris Jones is just not the same.
Russell
player
Wilson
that
and
he was.
Pete Carroll are still in the league, right?
Yeah.
They're just not in Seattle.
Yeah.
You could run that. You could run this till 2035 if you want to.
Yeah, I mean,
Right?
you obviously you don't make any changes. You need to find
Just make
a
Nagy the
consistent.
coach after
No,
Andy
God,
retires.
no, God. Hopefully, we're getting rid of Nagy this year. That guy sucks. But I mean, you got to find somebody at running back. Kareem's fine once Andy actually started handling the football, but we need somebody that's going to be explosive and be able to break off some long runs and not just 5 yards
Maybe you can
consistently
draft
is
somebody in the
nice.
third round this year.
Yeah, maybe that'd be nice. Probably the 7th round. That's probably where they'll pick it up. And then I would love to find some defensive line help. You can see a very lack in there. And Chris Jones kind of lost his step. I think he's going to play next year, you would think. But you need some young, fresh minds in the coaching staff as well. You kind of hear this all the time about this, but maybe some new, fresh ideas to give Andy to be able to incorporate into his offense. Running the football a little bit more.
Eric Bieniemy.
I mean, he's not the solution either. I mean, that's the thing, though, is like the offense was chugging along really well. We had Bieniemy.
Okay,
and then
Andy
we had
Reid,
that.
Eric Bieniemy. Like, what do you want? Sean McVay?
No, well, yeah, I want Sean. Yeah, for I hope it rains money tomorrow. But like, it's like how it is. But you just want. I don't know.
Exactly. So,
I
like,
don't
how-
know the specific answer. I don't know enough to have a specific answer. I just want to see. And I probably won't even see it. I probably won't see the coaching hire. But I hope they find some young, fresh minds to get in there to get some idea creation going. Because this formula, I think at its core, still works. But I think it needs to be tweaked where not everybody's playing too high safety. You have to get somebody to run the football. If there is no threat for a run, they're just going to play too high safety and force Patrick to try and make plays underneath. And that's not the style that has won us Super Bowls. We've been able to make the big play by running as well. So, I mean, we just got to figure that out. I still have faith. I have faith. It's like hanging on by a thread that we're going to make the playoffs. I like the rest of our schedule. That's why I like it. That maybe we make the playoffs. And the AFC is worse than the NFC this year. But we'll have to wait and see. They do play the Texans, who have been kind of on a roll. But that's the end of that Thursday slate. And then on Friday, we got a game. We get games Thursday, Friday, and Sunday. We get a treat this week. The Bears. The Bears
Did
are
anyone
back.
watch the game on Friday?
You didn't watch the Bears and Ben Johnson take his shirt off as they just rolled the Eagles?
Yeah, I mean,
They rolled
I
the
did see
Eagles.
that.
Like it ended up
Are
being
the Eagles all that
24-15.
good? I mean, I've
They're
always kind of been
8-4.
saying this. Oh my gosh.
They're good with like if Barkley runs the ball well, they're good. If you throw the football to AJ Brown, but you threw the ball to AJ Brown, did he have to get like 35 fantasy points on Friday? But they still got their butts kicked.
If ifs and whats were candies and butts, we'd
Well-
all have a merry
Well,
Christmas.
this is a podcast. We're supposed to do what ifs, buts, and about.
Yeah, no, I know,
We're
I
just gonna
got
talk
you.
straight facts.
Yeah, I don't think that the Bears are taking advantage. Like they're just playing football, and yeah, the Eagles are imploding in front of our eyes. It's kind of fun to watch.
Yeah.
They might be another team that's in like a weird thing. Because like, what are you gonna do with Sirianni? Sirianni's not a guy who does it halfway. He's gonna keep on doing what he's doing the way
Right.
he's doing it. If you want to switch it up, you can, but that means that he's not a part of it.
Yeah.
Jalen Hurts. I don't know how many coaches want to go into that situation and go. And not saying Jalen Hurts is a bad quarterback. I would just say, me personally, as someone who's called plays in football, like he is a very I don't want to say limited, but I want to say that he needs a very specific set of circumstances for him to perform well. And I think that's the case with a lot of quarterbacks, but with Jalen specifically, it's not maybe your typical. Like, for example, if you need if you're a team like the Jets and you got a backup quarterback, it's tough to have Justin Fields and Tyrod Taylor. Now you can have a regular offense, and that's what Tyrod runs. And then when Justin goes in, you got the Justin offense. And I guess that's what you could do with Jalen. But Jalen's a little bit better than Justin, first of all. And then I don't know. It's just it's tough to say, and they've kind of done this whole thing with the tush push. They're already. I mean, I think the NFL is kind of getting back at these. Right, you're now talking about penalties with the Chiefs, and now they fumble on a tush push, and it's kind of been these two teams that have kind of been meeting up in the Super Bowl recently. We'll talk about the 49ers, but the 49ers, another team that's been historically pretty good over the last few years, and whatever's going on with them. Yeah, I don't know. I was never, even when they won the Super Bowl, I wasn't totally sold on them. Like they're really good, but they're not.
Be really interesting to see how it goes.
Brown had a good game. AJ Brown.
Yeah, AJ Brown had a great game, and you think, oh, feed the ball to AJ and it'd be just fine, but that certainly hasn't been the case. They've now lost 2 in a row. They play at the Chargers. They play the Raiders. Okay, easy win. At Commanders, at Bills, and then the Commanders at home. So they should be fine making the playoffs. I mean, obviously the NFC East is not what it has been in the past as far as competition-wise, but they should make it in there because they'll win that unless the Cowboys somehow continue to rise after their big wins. The only way they contend there is if they win on Thursday Night Football, but we'll have to see about them specifically. Bears keep on rolling. It's kind of nice to see the Bears. We said this in the chat. It's kind of nice to see the Bears be kind of good. I mean, like, I'm not rooting for them. I mean, I'm rooting for the Chiefs to win the Super Bowl, but like, it is kind of cool to see some of those teams that have been so bad. And, you know, I'm on that Jets train, and I'm hoping the Jets figure it out, or we can talk the Jets are looking to be in playoff contention instead of this whole thing where we're always talking about mock draft and stuff like that. But it is kind of cool to see the Bears finally seem like that they have figured something out that'll make them successful. And I think Ben Johnson has a lot to do with that. Let's talk. I'll go through the morning slates, and then you can kind of just pick up after I've gone through all of these, and we can kind of discuss where we want to go from there. So the first one, 49ers beat the Browns 26-8. Kind of a grin, like not really that great of a game. Brock Purdy played well. The Jags beat the Titans.
Hey, the Browns stink. Shador is fun to watch.
Shador. It is crazy to think about that, and we'll talk this just real quick. It is crazy how long it took the Browns to start Shador Sanders.
They took Dylan Gabriel before him.
Does anybody have any reasoning behind that still? Like, does that really
The Browns
make
obviously
sense?
did. To who?
That doesn't make any sense that they took Dylan before Shador? Everybody that looked at anything anywhere?
No, but who's anybody, right? I mean, come on.
I mean, yeah, I guess the credibility is there, whatever, but like
the whole
it's kind
Jackson
of
Dart thing and all that, and I get it. The Browns stink, and like, hey, you could have went to Baltimore, and Lamar was hurt for a while. Do you think he would have not liked to start those 5 weeks when Lamar was hurt? It put them in a weird position.
There's not a really good spot he could have been, but like it's. I mean,
Shador's fun to watch is how I started this. I don't want to be put on an anti-Shador list, but yeah, it's not like he killed it in college. Like, all these people who are saying that he should have been starting are the same ones who are saying he's a clown for getting his jersey retired because his dad's the coach of the fucking team.
Yeah.
Like, I get, like, yeah, like, let's be honest here. It's not, you don't have to be either strongly agree or strongly disagree.
Yeah, it's just interesting to think how far he fell. I'm not an analyst, obviously, so I don't really know. But, I mean, it is interesting to see how well he has been performing. He is fun to watch, and I like how you put it there.
Yeah, I wouldn't even say
the Browns
like,
suck. How can you really compare how good he is when the Browns are this shit?
Zach Wilson. Moving on.
The Jags swept up the Titans. The Titans suck. Go figure.
They're so bad. Oh my goodness.
They're so
And
bad.
hey, I've been fans of worse teams, and hey, the Jets are even bad right now. I mean, I guess we get the win, so I get to like, ooh, Rudy Doody or whatever. But no, it kind of sucks,
They're
man, to watch
bad.
that.
Like, I mean, like they're gonna get this first pick, and I know
The
Jets have.
first pick. They're going to take a defensive player. Like I guess this
But
Ruben
they could,
Bain
but
kid
they
from
could
the
move down,
Mhm.
like because the Jets maybe move up now. You know, you were talking maybe Arch at some point, maybe waiting another year, throw Tyrod out there, maybe get a few people with your picks or whatever, and hopefully you can.
David Sills is a free agent this next year.
Yeah,
Now, is he going to win us a Super Bowl? No, but could that be another stop back?
okay.
Could you sign him to a 2-year deal and then have Arch sit behind him for the first 6 weeks in 2 seasons?
Maybe, I don't know. I just don't know how.
Why do we want the Jet and that's the other thing that I
Mendoza
think Woody.
looks the part. I really think Mendoza looks. Now we'll really see
Yeah,
next
I
week.
agree.
We'll
Hey,
see next
yeah,
week when they play Ohio
exactly.
State. Like that's when we'll
That's
really
the
see.
big one.
But
right
they've been
there.
beating the
And I'm
brakes
sure
off
the
of
Jets will
everybody.
have somebody there. But they're, I don't know. You're not just going to be great overnight, and even if you are, it's not because you took a quarterback number 1 overall. Because we've seen that whole thing play out. I mean, even when the Rams won the Super Bowl, it's because they traded their number 1 pick to another team that then, like, right, got rid of their number 1 pick because it never worked with them, and then ended up working for both of them. And you're like, oh shit. And we talked about this in the group chat about and last week I think too with JJ McCarthy.
Yeah.
Or a couple weeks ago. Sometimes that changes scenery is really what helps, or being a backup and having a run scout team and this kind of thing. So
I don't know.
but the Titans are real
They
bad.
need to
The
figure
Jags,
things.
I mean, the Jags have that win over KC, which looks really good. So
They're
Jags
8-4.
will make the playoffs.
Yeah.
You didn't ask me, but Jags will make the playoffs.
Yeah.
Which they're not that.
They're not
I mean,
bad.
come on, right? I mean, well, sure.
But they're also one of those teams that you've always seen as bad and
I mean,
seen kind of see them
flip,
cool.
the Jets just won today, so like, who's bad anymore?
The Saints and the Titans.
Jets play the Saints. I don't know
Yeah.
if we play the Titans.
But Titans have a lot of problems. They're looking like they're going to have that first overall pick. Hopefully Howard will take some time out of his busy schedule to kind of talk mock draft stuff later on. But Jags 8-4, looking like they're going to make the playoffs. The Texans beat the Colts. They're now only 1 game behind them. The 8-4 Colts, 7-5 Texans. Texans do go play the Chiefs next week. They won 20-16. You were saying that you want the Colts to implode. Why do you want the Colts to implode? Because they have sauce?
Because I have their first round pick.
Yeah, that's just true. Yeah, because you want them to be able to get a lower pick, so then you can. Yeah, that makes total sense. Yeah, just the Texans. We'll have to wait and see. They've kind of
Sauce got hurt today. I mean, I love Sauce. He doesn't intercept the football. He's a great corner. If you built a corner in a lab, but that return is just too much. And then hey, AD Mitchell. We'll talk about the Jets, but I think the Colts and the Texans and whatever. But yeah, I definitely want the Colts to like lose. And like, hey, if this whole thing with Indiana Jones, he's got a hurt foot. Maybe they don't re-sign him next year. He goes to the Saints or wherever the flip he might go. And then we've got their first round pick next year. And what's that? Anthony Richardson? Or do they draft a guy in like the 3rd round? Do they take like a Drew Aller or a Cade Klubnik? And that's their starter next year? Could you imagine? And then I have your first round pick. Where's that going to pick?
I don't know.
Even if Jonathan Taylor's the best running back in the NFL. Because I'll tell you first fucking hand, I'll take my Breece Hall jersey out right now. It doesn't mean shit. Now, it's cool to have him on your fantasy team and all that. But, I mean,
throw the rock. It's going to be pretty difficult.
Yeah, Pittman and Taylor are just going to be Breece and Garrett.
Yeah.
If they've got Anthony Richardson. Get Zach Wilson over there.
The Dolphins win again. They're 5-7. They beat the Saints. The Saints suck. So I guess it's really not that great of a win, but still a win. Still a win.
Tyler Shaw might convince them enough so they can tank for Archie next year.
Yeah, maybe a little bit. There might be a little bit something there they can throw out there just to kind of see what happens. But yep, Dolphins fine. There's not really much to talk about there, but. Let's talk about your Jets. Jets get a big win over the Falcons, moving to 3-9 in the season. What was your takeaways from the game, P4?
Bijan is like so fun to watch. Like it's just heartbreaking when you watch him play against your team. You're like, oh my god, someone tackle that fucking guy. Like he is just all over the field. He's incredible. And they took him out. He's on my fantasy team, and they took him out on the 1 yard line to give Algier a fucking easy one. But he still gave me 30 points. That's how fucking good he is. And then Brees, he went off as he typically does. AD Mitchell, one of
Great
the
play.
Jets' longest passes of the last 15 years. And you know what? AD's not awesome, but he's not, right? Give the kid an
He's got a
opportunity.
year.
All these
It's only
kids
his
can run,
year.
right?
This is his first
Yeah,
year in the league.
exactly. I mean, why are we already putting a kid in the grave? But all these kids can run and do this and do that. Like it's always like the hands or this. Like John Ross was a first round pick. He broke the 40 time. All these little things. Like all these kids can do some stuff. It's always about the situation. DK, right? If DK was on the Chiefs right now, he'd get 0 targets and be on the practice squad. Instead, he's on the Titans, and they're thinking he's going to be wide receiver 2 on their Super Bowl team in 3 years. Like I get it. It's crazy. I like the opportunity that they're giving him. He's made the best of it. I also like Mechie. I think the two little trades the Jets have done, Harrison Phillips, Jawan Briggs, Mozzie Smith hasn't played much, but those other guys are like big contributors that the Jets have done within this regime in the short amount of time that they had. They've gotten rid of some guys from the last regime. They've done some things. Ooh, did they save it? Did they save it? We'll see. We'll see what happens with this punt. It looked like it was close, but the guy kind of rolled into the end zone. But with this Jets team, I'm excited to see what it kind of reminds me of like and maybe I'm just too close to both situations, but what the Mets are doing right now, where they're just doing enough to shake it up, right? It's like, hey, we've ran kind of this thing back for a little bit, and it hasn't quite worked for us. So maybe you do have to break up the core. Oh well, they always have the core. All my teams that are awful always have the core, right? You know what team doesn't have the same fucking core every year, but it still ends up being pretty damn good? And I know there's a totally different thing, but you got to do right. Like it doesn't really matter to them who their core is. They're starting 5 switches every year, and it's totally different. But like you got teams in college basketball that kind of repeat. Like Auburn's had the same starting 5 for the last 7 years, I think. So,
Yeah, there's different philosophies on how to build a program. We can get into that eventually, but we get
and
closer
yeah,
on
the Jets and
March.
just I like what this team's doing, and it kind of shows on the field. I do want to get into the whole tanking thing. We do have another first round pick, so I'm not really worried about the tank. I'm not even. I feel like the best quarterback is going to find the Jets, right? The Jets don't have to pick number 1. It's when we trade up is when we do pretty bad. I think we traded up for Sam. We didn't trade up for Mark. I
Man,
think we traded up
if
for
you don't get
Gino.
Mendoza, I mean, Diego's there. Diego looked really good this last week against Tennessee.
I think he's 5'11".
That is true. Kyler Murray 2.0.
I mean, he'll be good in like the CFL or the AFL or whatever. Like he'll be like one of the best quarterbacks in that league. But the Jets had a guy a couple years ago, Chris Trevler, and they had a guy this year, Adrian Martinez in K State. But oh, he's a winner, but he's got to be like in a Baker Mayfield situation where he does so good it's undeniable.
Yeah.
Like he'll be a 5th-round pick. There's a kid at Georgia Tech right now, Haynes King, that I like a lot.
He is good.
Like there's a couple guys who can play quarterback. Like there'll be 12 quarterbacks drafted. Fuck, the Jets will probably take one. I mean, we got Brady Cook on the practice squad right now. Why don't we start him? It's not like Madden where if they win the offensive player of the year, they get fucking superstar X factor development and like everything goes right. I mean, there's a little bit of nuance to it. The guy's got to be good. You got to get the right traits, and they got to just find the perfect fit. And I'm confident in this Jet staff on what they've done so far with the whole Jarvis Brownlee thing, all this little things that they've done to kind of switch up the team, get these picks. That they know what they want. They're going to go out. They're going to get that. And that's the kind of thing that you like to see in a team that hasn't had that kind of stuff in the past. And yeah, we lost some good players, but I'm excited to see what the Jets do. And I'm not mad that they're winning. I mean, fuck. I'm mad that they're losing, mad that they're winning. I mean, you can't. And we mentioned this before the pod. I should drop it in this. Aaron Glenn used to be teammates with Nick Folk when they were both on the Jets at a time. So that's just so awesome. And then Nick Folk is 41 years old, kicking game winners. Got his first miss of any kind. He was perfect from field goals, perfect from extra points this season. Missed from 55. It's the game winner from 56. I mean, yeah, how can you not be romantic about baseball? Kirk Cousins, he might be a Jet next year. All right.
Yeah, who knows what's
I'm
going on
off
with the
it.
Falcons? That's a whole other thing with Penix and Kirk, and that team should be way better than 4-8.
That brother got
that
no
coach
knees.
is out, bro. It's not gonna be. It's gonna be a lot of different stuff going on there, Falcons. I think coaching wise, but the Bucks squeaked out a win against the Cardinals. They won 20-17. Baker looked decent. Bucky Irving came back for the first time, and it seems like forever. That team kind of seems like once they get rolling again, they're going to be just as elite. They're still without Mike Evans, which still hurts, their team's dangerous. Baker's shown that Baker can win football games, and even though they're 7-5 right now, they get good on a real hot streak run. They can make a deep run in those playoffs. Cardinals
That
mess.
division stinks.
Tyler's out the door. Who knows what's going on there over in Arizona. They might also be looking for a quarterback, but we'll have to wait and see when the offseason comes up. Biggest shocker, we already mentioned it, the Panthers beat the best team in football, 31-28. Matthew Stafford had 2 interceptions early, but then really got comfortable. But the Panthers, man, we kind of talked about this early at the beginning of the season, like that whole thing where like there's a certain events that hang out, and the Panthers, end up going all the way to the NFC Championship. Pretty crazy stuff there. P4 will the Panthers make the playoffs?
Yeah, sorry, technical difficulties. I pressed the wrong button there. Maybe you'll see me in just a second. But yeah, I think the Panthers are pretty good. I don't know if they'll make the playoffs. 7-6. Do they play the Bucks again?
They do twice.
They do twice. All right. That's what it comes down to. Didn't I say that at the beginning of this flipping season in our thing?
Probably
is that
at some
game
point,
between
yeah.
the Bucks and the Panthers is going to decide the division?
Well, they also play the Seahawks too. I mean, they play the Saints next, which will really help move to 8.
Well, the Bucks probably play a team like I don't think they're going to go undefeated.
No, but they need some help, definitely for sure.
A little bit, but if you play the Bucks twice, you're almost in control of your own destiny. I mean, if you beat them twice, then you can make up with it with the Seattle loss.
Yeah, we look at this playoff machine. How is this looking here in the NFC?
But yeah, I do like this Panthers team. They can't be favorites. They're so bad when they are favorites.
Yeah, man, it's going to be tough. You got Detroit there. I mean, Seattle, San Francisco are going to take up 2 spots. So everybody's going to be kind of fighting for that 7 seed. Yeah, it's going to be tough for them to make the playoffs. They got to try and beat out Green Bay, Seattle, and San Francisco. I mean, or the Bears if the Bears start to fall a little bit. Their biggest bet is to beat the Bucks out and beat them out for the division. But are you concerned at all for the Rams after this, or is it just like it's just another loss? Hey, you don't know.
This was a trap game.
I know,
they just
right.
beat the Bucks, we thought the Bucks were the best team.
I totally agree. Right. You gotta ask the question just in case there's a different opinion. I totally agree. I think.
Yes, I think the Rams are now going to lose out.
Yep, 100%. So that wraps up our morning games. The afternoon games weren't as interesting. The Seahawks blew out the Vikings 26-0. Seahawks 9-3
Poor Brosmer,
again.
Man.
Yeah, it's poor.
I think that shows everybody though that not anybody can do
yeah.
that. JJ's got some stuff going on. Maybe there's just some weird stuff going on. Maybe there's some tells with the offense. Who knows? Maybe the defense is defensive coordinators have become wise to O'Connell a little bit. He has to do some self-scouting. It's not nothing we haven't seen before, but it does kind of suck that JJ's in the crosshairs. Not that I like JJ or anything, but he's a young kid. He's trying to figure it out. And I mean, the franchise knows that they've gone through all these other quarterbacks that are doing good elsewhere, so it's got to be kind of stinging to them. I mean, right? I'm a Jets fan, and I'm watching Aaron Rodgers go out and win games, or Zach Wilson, or Sam Darnold, or any other, or Joe Flacco. I mean, all these quarterbacks used to be Jets. You're like, oh my gosh. And we couldn't held on to one of these guys. So I got to see. I feel what Vikings fans are feeling, and it would have been cool to see Brosmer come out. But the Seahawks are real good. I like the Seahawks.
The Seahawks are a top team for sure. They're in the 6th spot currently. or no, they're in the 5 seed currently. So they are looking really, really nice to be able to make those playoffs. I don't see them dipping out. They play the Falcons, who are horrible. The Colts, who are kind of in a slide. The Rams, the best team in football. Panthers, 49ers. So they do have a few big games left on the schedule that could make them slip up, but they are definitely comfortably in the playoffs as of this moment. The Bills beat the Steelers 26-7. Buffalo kind of gets back on track.
BS game.
Buffalo.
Aaron Rodgers got hurt again.
Yeah, it is what it is. The Bills are the Bills. They're going to be pretty good. The Steelers are 6-6. That AFC North is pretty poopy, so I don't think you have too much there to worry about, especially since the Ravens lost. So you don't really have that big of a deal. You just got to try and continue to win. Rodgers is back. They'll be all right. They do play at the Ravens next week. That'll be a huge football game. And then finally, the Chargers beat the Raiders. Biggest thing out of that, Herbert broke a bone in his hand. Says it's not going to affect him playing. He says he's going to play through it. Maybe we get another Daniel Jones kind of situation where we know Daniel kind of broke his fibula, or fractured it, not broke, which it is broken, but you know what I mean, not like completely broke. And it's kind of you can see kind of affecting him. We'll see if that'll affect Herbert. Hopefully it does affect
legs
Herbert.
And non-throwing hands. Oh, I
Yeah.
guess from your perspective, yeah.
I'm hoping it affects him. I'm hoping he doesn't throw the ball well at all, and it hurts all the time, and he can't handle it, and they have to go.
I mean, the Raiders are bad, but they can run the ball.
Yeah. The Chargers.
Their offensive line is the issue. They just need to stay healthy on the offensive line, and it's gonna be tough to beat them. That AFC West is a tough division, man.
Yeah, it's definitely up there as well. Currently,
Would the Raiders draft a quarterback?
I think that's the plan. I think they
even with a guy like Pete Carroll as your coach, where you're like, oh my gosh,
you got to do something. I mean,
he's not in it for a rebuild.
I know, but what?
Why don't you draft like the best corner?
I mean,
this year,
maybe, but what do you? You're
best
throw
offensive
Geno
lineman
out there again to just blow up like always? I mean, who's
Indiana
a free
Jones.
agent? I mean, yeah,
Daniel
I
Jones.
guess. I don't know. It's
James.
just somebody. You got to figure something out there because Geno you thought would be good because after he was pretty
Drew
dang.
Lock.
No. But we'll have to wait and see. We'll get into mock draft stuff later. Currently, the Broncos are beating the Commanders 20-17. Hopefully, the Commanders win for the Chiefs' sake. But the Broncos are a pretty dang good football team. Monday Night Football game is kind of a pooper. It's the Patriots versus the Giants. We don't really need to talk about that too much. So that'll be your NFL recap. We're going to go now to the non-professional, actually kind of professional.
Oh, a game going on right now. Denver's barely beating.
Yeah, they're beating them 2017. Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping that the Commanders somehow find a way to pull that off just for the Chiefs' sake.
Got this cool bobblehead at the game.
What a great bobblehead. This guy's puppy in there, too. That's cool.
No, it's a go.
Oh, it's a go. Oh, makes it even better. Let's talk college football real quick. We're getting down to the wire here. We got championship
Duke.
games. Yeah, I knew that was coming up already, even though, Duke, they've lost 4 games, but they're somehow in the ACC championship game. But it is what it is. They're a good football team, I guess. The ACC sucks, so.
Who? Who's Mario Cristobal? Who's Duke's football coach?
I have no idea. I've not kept up with Duke football. I don't think ever.
Manny Diaz. Manny Diaz is Duke's football coach. He was fired from Miami for not being able to make an ACC championship.
And now he's making an ACC championship.
He's made an ACC championship before Miami has.
Yeah, it's the whole college football thing is weird. I still see the predictions coming out. Is Miami still making it, even though they're not the ACC champion?
They're just the highest ranked right now. That's a placeholder for
It'll be
who
Virginia.
the highest.
It'll be Virginia if they win, and then Duke won't. Virginia will make it if they win. They've lost 2 games.
Okay.
They'll make it if they win. But if you're right, if Duke wins, and I know your whole thing is maybe I don't see them.
If JMU loses, I mean, there's a whole ring around the rosy.
Right. If JMU loses,
the Miami right now is a
It's just a
placeholder
the
for
ACC.
the auto bid, the 5th No, not even ACC necessarily, right? Because if Duke wins and JMU wins, JMU probably takes that spot. It's a placeholder for the highest ranked conference champion.
Right, correct.
There's only 5 of them
Right,
that get an auto bid.
right.
Everything else gets filled in. Duke won't get a non-auto bid. I know that, right?
Yeah.
Duke won't get one of the wild card spots.
Right.
But there's a way that they could maybe get an auto bid.
Yeah. Well, we'll have to see that specifically.
And that way might even be crazier than the way that it took for them to get the playoff. So
Yeah, I mean, it's
crazy things have happened.
be crazy to see a 4-loss team in the play.
That's
not saying
not
it's
Alabama.
impossible, but it's not. It's not looking. But hey, you win an ACC championship. That's still pretty remarkable for football for Duke. For Duke, I mean, if KU won a Big 12 championship at that point, and I would be feeling the same way. Right? I know it's so funny. Shut the fuck up. Okay.
Comedian.
No, yeah, shut up. Hopefully they can actually figure something out there. Probably not because they suck, but I didn't want to get into that because that'll just make me go nuts. Because I went to the game this week and it was just how you think it went.
How'd it go?
Yeah, so funny. You can go watch the highlights.
I didn't
A&M,
think there were any.
there are actually. You can go watch Jaden Daniels throw 10 interceptions, 4 of them in the red zone on every single play that actually mattered. They were beating Utah, and then Jaden Daniels decides to forget how to read a defense again, throws a 96-yard pick six to basically seal the game for Utah. They're 5-7. They didn't make another bowl yet again. I'm so glad Jaden Daniels is gone. I hope that guy literally delivers mail for the rest of his life.
Chiefs 6th round.
He sucks.
Trade Mahomes to the Jets.
I hate him. I'm so glad he is gone. They need to figure the defense. The defensive coordinator, fired. Fire. He sucks. The defense sucked. The offense actually played pretty well until the last freaking game of the season, of course, because that's how it always goes being a KU football fan. And I'm not one of those people that's just going to watch basketball and not watch football. That's not what I'm about. I'm not one of those half-season fans. I'm a full-season fan. However, it is frustrating to watch your team continuously miss out on even a bowl. I would love to just make a bowl. They made one 2 years ago. Now they've gone 5-7 for 2 straight years. I don't know. Hopefully Leopold's got something in the works. I'm excited for Isaiah Marshall, but we'll have to wait and see on that. There's my small KU rant. We're not going to get into that because it's just there's nothing to talk about. Texas beat Texas A&M. That's huge because now that makes Texas A&M fall out of the SEC championship. It is now Georgia versus Alabama in that SEC championship. A&M will still make the playoff. They're still a phenomenal football team. They're going to get one of those auto bids. In a crazy situation, and I know you're about to go ballistic, could Texas sneak it? In a hypothetical, the dinosaurs still live in, meteor hits the earth, hypothetical, could Texas still make it in? Yes or no? He's not even listening to me. I personally think...
No, I'm thinking... yeah. Over Duke? No.
Duke,
yeah, I mean...
Duke wins the champion. Duke wins the ACC.
Everyone was talking
JMU
so much shit about Arch Manning, including PC.
I was. I will put hand to air say I was talking shit. I still think he needs one more year, but he did look phenomenal against
Yeah, and he wants to do that. And it's like everyone was putting him on the pedestal that like, oh, he's getting drafted in fucking October, so he better have the best 2 first games of the season. And then he didn't, and now he outruns Oklahoma, like totally fucks up their shit. And like now it's like, whoa, he's really made some noise in the Big 12 or in the
SEC. Yeah.
SEC. Yeah, now that they're in the SEC. And the SEC, whoa, that's crazy. He's just a sophomore. He just another year and he'll be fine. He goes, yeah, that's what I've been saying this whole time. It's almost
Just
like
needs-
that's
just
like
needs
what he
some
said was going to
experience,
happen.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm excited. I'd like to see him in there as long as it's not overdue.
Yeah,
It's probably going to be over Syracuse. Did you see what happened with Syracuse? We're in the college football
They
segment,
suck.
so
They're so...
they're not that. I mean,
Nah,
yeah,
they're
they
pretty
had a
bad.
game.
Losing 70
Boston College is awful, and they beat Syracuse this week, and it was like, oh, they were like 1-10.
Yeah, they were not very good. No, not at all. Not good at all. But yeah, A&M still in the playoff, still good. Texas is a consideration. If Duke wins and JMU loses, there is a consideration to put Texas as their first ever 3-loss team in the college football playoff. Now, they lost by 7 to Ohio State at the beginning of the year, which the closest Ohio State's had up to this point. They only had a few losses here and there, especially at the beginning of the year. At the end of the year, they look really good. I don't know. There's a case. I think if Virginia wins, Virginia's in over them, and I think if JMU wins, JMU's in over them as well. But we'll see. Ohio State finishes their perfect season by getting not perfect season quite yet, but perfect regular season over their rivalry, beating Michigan. They beat the brakes off of Michigan. Michigan got an early turnover. It kind of looked like, whoa, Michigan might actually pull this magic off again. Ohio State settled in. They looked just the part as they have all year as the number 1 overall team. I cannot wait for them to play Indiana. It'll be a phenomenal football game. Hopefully, Indiana comes out on top just because I like seeing different people on top instead of the same teams over and over again. But Ohio State completed their mission. For all the teams that were supposed to win.
All Ohio State quarterbacks have been bad in the NFL. Don't shoot the messenger. That's just an observation I've made. Saying looks good, though.
Yeah. All the other teams that were supposed to win to make it into the playoff basically won. Ole Miss, we'll talk about them. Let's talk about them last. We'll talk about the Lane Kiffin situation. Texas Tech blew the brakes off of West Virginia 49-0. They look really good. They're going to play BYU in the Big 12 championship. If BYU loses, they still have a chance because they lost to Texas Tech twice. So and especially that's the whole scenario if JMU loses and Duke wins the ACC, BYU maybe get in there. Who knows? Oregon beat Washington 26-14 in Seattle. Oregon is now officially in. Oklahoma barely beat LSU. They're going to be in, but LSU 7-5 on a season that was supposed to go a lot differently. Hopefully that new coach will do something for them. Alabama won in the Iron Bowl 27-20. A good win for them. And then Vandy, Diego Pavia, they ended up winning 45-24 over Tennessee, making themselves kind of in that consideration. And as a 10-2 SEC team, I know they lost to Texas, but they lost to Alabama, who is a team that is in the playoff currently and probably won't fall out unless they maybe lose to Georgia. They might fall out if they lose to Georgia, and maybe Vanderbilt or somebody takes that spot. That's interesting to watch for that SEC championship as well. Everybody else, again, like that was supposed to kind of won. Championship games will be fun. I am excited to watch the Big Ten championship. The SEC championship has a lot of factors in it, especially if Bama loses. Will Bama be in as the first 3-loss football team over Texas? Maybe. We'll have to wait and see. But lots of interesting stuff going on heading into the last games before bowl season starts upcoming next week. All right, let's talk about the Ole Miss and Lane Kiffin situation. I really wish Howard was on today. But Lane Kiffin is the official new head coach for LSU. Ole Miss told him to pack his shit and go. And then Kiffin told all of his coordinators, if you want to come with me, you need to get on the plane right now or you're not coming with me at all. And so now Ole Miss going into the playoffs as their best season they've had in the history of Ole Miss football is now going into the college football playoff without a head coach, without a lot of their coordinators. Do you think Ole Miss even has a chance? Or again, obviously they have a chance, but do you think they win a college football playoff game without their head coach, without some of their coordinators, and just strictly on the players and how they play football? Do they win?
No, I don't think so. And I think Ole Miss and their staff, as far as their athletic department and all that, and they've already announced their defensive coordinator as their permanent head coach. So they must have thought about this a little bit, which I do like that it's not like, okay, now we're looking at other options like Mark Stoops or something. But they may have just cost themselves a thing. Like they're the ones who put the thing on Kiffin. There would it change nothing if Kiffin did this a month from now, 2 months from now, after the season, and they could have possibly won a national championship. I don't get it. I mean, if that's what they want to do, that's what they did. Kiffin's going to get paid.
Yeah, really paid. Well, it's interesting to think about
from LSU.
So it's pretty interesting to think about that. Ole Miss didn't allow Lane Kiffin to finish the season as college football playoff team, and USF, who has a chance to make the playoff but maybe not yet. Florida has said that he could, and USF have both said he could finish the season at USF before heading to Florida, which two different scenarios, but it seems like it'd be better for your program, right? To have the head coach there that's just led your team to the best football season.
Like, I get
in
it if you're just in the bowl
history.
game or just
Right.
in this or
but
just
they're
in
in the
that.
playoff. You can win a national championship. What are you doing? Is your ego that big that you're like, I can't let your? I'm so pissed that you went to LSU. They're paying him NFL coaching
And they like forced
salary.
him to
What do you
pick.
want
Maybe
him
if
to
they
do?
didn't force him, maybe he would have liked to stay.
Right. Maybe they made a huge run, and he's like, wow, I can win here. It's a very awkward situation down there in Oxford. It's unfortunate for those players on Ole Miss that have to go, as they've had a phenomenal, terrific season.
Bunch of them are gonna
Dedicated
go to
everything.
LSU.
And I understand that a lot of them are going to go to LSU, but those guys that are committed to that program, they've committed so far to try and win a national championship this year, to have their head coach basically grabbed away from them and then told he couldn't coach at the end of the year, is basically a slap in the face from the university. It's pretty awful to see from Ole Miss. Can't blame them at the same time. Do you want a guy around that's just going to grab all your players and all this? He's going to be distracted with LSU recruiting for next year, all that type of stuff.
But he wouldn't have been.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think it's a horrible decision all around. I think we're in agreement to that, but that's just the way I guess the cookie crumbles sometimes. We did a dark horse hunter. Teams we started in week 6 that we thought would be playoff teams. Out of the 5 teams that I mentioned, 5 teams. One of them is permanently in the playoff. That is Texas Tech. Even if they lose the Big 12 championship, they will be in. I have 2 bubble teams right now. Vandy, who still has a shot if Alabama loses, JMU loses, and like Duke ends up winning the ACC championship. They have a chance to get in. BYU has a chance to also play their way in as they are in the Big 12 championship. Georgia Tech and Cincinnati were my only 2 that didn't quite make it. Cincinnati was worse than Georgia Tech. Unfortunate to see Georgia Tech not make the playoff. That Hayes King, as before mentioned, looks really, really good. And it would have been cool to see Georgia Tech, but they could not get past Georgia to save their season. So it's caught in the back of my throat. That'll be it for college football. We have conference championships coming up this next weekend, so that'll be really interesting to watch. We'll definitely, the boys will be diving in that, having our brews, drink responsibly, obviously 21 plus, and enjoy some phenomenal football next weekend. But during your week, we had a crazy college basketball week. I've got my points here, and I already know the main man for Way Out West wants to talk about his Blue Devils because he's already talked about them in college basketball. Might as well talk about it in college basketball as well. But we had a huge week in the college basketball scheme of things with all the Feast Week tournaments going on. Let's first start with the Players era. We can talk quickly. Syracuse, I know they lost a few games in there. They did lose to KU, did lose to Houston, did lose to Iowa State. But they looked decent. They seemed to need to have a few more parts. Carmelo Anthony's son looks like an NBA prospect. Gilbert's son looks like an NBA prospect. They need somebody else around them to be able to help those 2 guys out. We'll see if they can figure it out in the ACC schedule. ACC's better than it was last year. The bottom end still sucks, so maybe Syracuse can find their way through this.
Oh my God!
ACC.
And Syracuse almost beat Houston. So what would that have said about the top end of the Big 12? These Big 12 guys
Houston's not
discrediting the ACC.
The ACC has Duke, who is good, Louisville, who's good, North Carolina, who is good, and then who else?
Syracuse.
If that's your 4th guy,
5th.
Duke, North Carolina, Syracuse would be
Georgia
4.
Tech.
No.
Oh no, there's got to be someone else. What about one of those Big 12 schools? Did they ever go? Is like Stanford an ACC school? UCLA?
UCLA is probably your 4th team, I would think. They're a pretty solid squad. Let's look at ACC right now.
Who's the fourth school in the Big 12?
You've got Houston, you've got BYU, you've got Arizona, you've got Iowa State, you've got Kansas, you've got Baylor, who played well in the Players era, and then yes, it falls off after that. But there are okay, and I'm biased, right? Obviously, there are 4 legitimate national championship contending teams, and if you don't count my bias, which I'm going to count, there's 5. I think Kansas, if they get it rolling and playing well, I think the Players Era Tour really helped them out to maybe become national championship contenders. I'm not saying that I think that's going to happen. I'm saying if they have pieces fit together and DP plays as well as he's supposed to, they could win the national championship with the way they grew over the Players Era Tour. And the ACC has looked
and Duke
better.
beat them.
They did. You're 100% correct. They beat them in a November game that everybody's going to remember until they get there, and then we're all going to forget about it because they're all 0-0 once we become to the tournament in March. But
and then you guys lose to St. John's in the second round. I get it.
Hopefully not. Hopefully that doesn't happen. That's not the energy
Wisconsin.
you want for. I'm hoping you lose to somebody too. But you know what? It is what it is. They're not even the best team in the nation. Duke's not even the best
Line
team
them
in the
all
nation.
up. Citadel, Florida A&M.
There's 3 teams better than Duke in college basketball right now, currently.
3 teams.
Yep, 3.
Purdue, Houston.
Nope, not Houston. Houston lost.
Purdue.
Yep.
Then
There's
who?
one. You've got Michigan.
All right. Well, we're going to beat Michigan State on Saturday.
Arizona.
Caleb Love still play there?
No, but Coapete's a dog. And they've beaten 3 top 10 teams already this year.
See Cam in the post. That's what I got to say.
Yeah, Coapete's a lock that down so. We can go on and on about these stupid Duke level Blues, but nobody really cares about that kind of content. Players
See
there.
Caden Boozer in the post.
Oh, Lord. Let's like SWAT City over there. Let's talk quickly. Players era. Zags played
Syracuse
really
almost beat
well
Houston.
in the first game. They beat Alabama. Braden Huff, and Tyron Grant Foster, who's actually a 5th-year guy from Grand Canyon University, played 2 years at Grand Canyon, helped them make the tournament 2 years to be a legitimate threat. That front court is really, 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 really good. Their back court needs a little work, needs a little more experience, but the Zags are cooking over there in Spokane, and watch them to be a real threat. They are in the WCC again for one more season. Kind of wish they were moved on to the Mountain West this year, but they're not. So we're going to have to just wait it out, them dominating the WCC. But they have competed really well in these non-con games. But the team that was better than the Zags was Michigan. Now, Michigan, their total scores, they beat... Let's see, I want to get the teams correct right off the bat here so I don't say something wrong. There's the Players Era. There's old Michigan. There they are. They beat San Diego State. Okay, not that great of a team, but they beat them 94-54. So beat them by 40 points. Number 21 ranked Auburn, 102-72. So beat them by 30 points. And then beat number 12 Gonzaga, 101-61. They beat 2 teams in the top 25 by a total of 110 points. This Michigan team was on people's radars, wasn't as high on the radars as they are obviously now. But this guy, Yaxel Lindenborg, watch out for him. He's a 6'9", 240 senior from New Jersey. His road has been pretty crazy. He started off in the JUCO level for 2 years. And then, I can't quite remember where he played before this. He played at UAB for 2 years. He's played at UAB, now he's in his 5th season, his final season. And Michigan is tearing it up. He's a phenomenal story, but he is really, really fun to watch. Morez Johnson Jr., really, really good. Forward as well, a sophomore, 6'9", and then their backcourt. But this team is just unbelievable. They've jumped into my top 5 as they obviously should have. But it is really cool to see Michigan kind of get back after all the Juwan Howard stuff that worked but didn't work. But this new team under Dusty May, who, remember, brought FAU out of nothing into a Final Four team. Now he's got some funding behind him at Michigan. This team's going to be good for the rest of the year. Iowa State, the Players Era Tour or tournament, championship, whatever, was very, very interesting. It was based on point differential. If you made the championship game to get an extra $1 million or $750,000, Iowa State won both games and ended up playing for the 5th place game against Syracuse, which was very interesting. And then they won that one, so they went 3-0, took 5th place, went home with 0 bonus money for going 3-0. Tennessee went home with bonus money for 4th place, going 2-1, and then Gonzaga went 2-1 as well, and they ended up with bonus money. So it's very interesting to see. Hopefully that thing changes. I heard it's going from 16 to 32 teams next year. I've heard a FIFA-style brackets in works, like they do
overtime.
They do four teams in each box, play a round robin, and then those 2 teams out of the 4 make that 16-man bracket. You do bracket style, like 3 weeks in the Christmas holiday season. Be very interesting if that happens. I know multiple top 25 teams or big
just asking
name
for
schools.
NBA Cup for NCAA.
What?
Are you just asking for the NBA Cup for NCAA?
No.
I think that's kind of what you're doing.
No. The NBA Cup. I mean, it'd be the same format, yeah. I mean, it would
Okay.
make it more interesting, I guess. I'm asking for a bracket. I'm asking for some type of bracket. Because
Yeah,
the way
you
it
get one
was
at the end of the
done
year.
now-
It's called March Madness.
Yeah, I know. But, if you're going to ruin and destroy the Maui Invitational and all these other smaller Feast Week tournaments for your own tournament, you should have a damn tournament. You should have a bracket. That's what college basketball is a bracket. That's what makes it special, right? Is the bracket.
But what you were explaining, it, and it sounded like the NBA Cup to me, and then
It kind of is. The only difference between that and the NBA Cup is the NBA Cup has the second team that has the biggest point differential move on. So they have 4. They have 3. They have 3 groups of 4 or whatever it is, and then they have only the top second place team make it. So they only have 8. I would rather them move it out to a full 16 bracket after that and let them play one game. Do it 1 week and just let them play 3 or 4 games in a row. I know that's a lot, but it'd be a lot more interesting than the way it was done now, especially for a team like Iowa State, who is a phenomenal team and a top 10 team, and they walked out with 0 additional money because of the way the tournament was set up. They need to set up differently. That's all I get from that. Last thing from Players Era, talk KU. KU did go 3-0. They beat Syracuse. They beat Tennessee. And who did they play first? I can't even remember off the top of my head. I don't even know why. I'm not even a real fan. I can't even remember. Who they beat? Day 1. Who they beat? Why can't
Are
I?
you actually wearing that fucking sweatshirt in front of me?
Yeah, I did to piss you off. Succeeded.
All right, guys. Well, that's been the Doozy Sports Podcast.
Where is this thing? Who do they beat? Why can't I figure this? Notre Dame. They beat Notre Dame, which, okay, whatever. But the big win against Tennessee, that was massive. They were down 12 with 8 minutes left in the game. A comment was made in the Dudes in Sports channel about Marco Jackson, and then he decided to become Prime Sharon Collins, which was, or not Sharon Collins, Tyshawn Taylor. And then Melvin Council became Prime Sharon Collins for KU. This is phenomenal for Kansas. Flory looked phenomenal. That front court duo in him and Tiller looked great. Flory can definitely play closer to the rim, flash a little bit, and Tiller can hit the outside shot, so you can kind of have that big 2-man action. Trey White looked really great, except for the last game where he fouled out. Really bad foul out. Shouldn't have fouled out there. Is what it is. He played really well. And then Melvin Counselor and Marco stepped up in that final game to get a really gritty win over a tough Tennessee team. Bringing Darren Peterson back into the fold, you know that these guys can score now. We've seen that they can score. Can they put it all together like we hope they can to make a real big run here at the Big 12 Championship and then maybe a big run in March? As well. A great tournament for KU to really boost the effort and the positivity about this basketball team after it's been pretty negative from the Dudes of Sports podcast past 2 seasons. Brings me back to hopefully they win. Hopefully DP comes back. They do play UConn here on Tuesday, which will be dope. No, we won it in 08 and we won it with Ochai in 20. What are you talking about? Yeah, we were way before Will Chamberlain. Or way after, I guess, technically. We had Paul Pierce. We had Sharon and them in 08. And we had 21.
What did I say in the Dudes in Sports chat? You
could
could make an all-time white Duke team that would beat the all-time KU team. No. And I think that's true. No, and that's totally true. This
is why we don't have you and me on this podcast, because you just
your favorite white boy in the NBA.
No, he's not. Grayson Allen sucks. He's terrible. Get him off my basketball team. I don't care if he scored 46 points.
40 bomb. Really he's the only good player.
No, he's not. Devin Booker's on the stupid. No, he's not. No, he's not. That's why he still comes off the bench. Devin Booker. Devin Booker, the franchise player. You don't even care about NBA. Why are you even talking? No, get out of here. I don't want to talk about this.
Tonkanuple.
Stop rage baiting me. Okay. Let's quickly go over some of the other big things that happened. The Maui Invitational. Not a lot of those Feast Week games were really that great. Let's talk the last one. I'll talk
Syracuse.
Before I go into. We're not talking about stupid Syracuse. They went only 3. Last one.
Okay, but all those were close
only
games
counts in host shoes and hand grenades. It doesn't matter. An almost.
That's what you were talking about when it was KU. We're winning at fucking halftime.
Yeah, but it only matters when I'm saying it. You didn't realize that? If it's been on this podcast long enough, that it's only right when I say it.
I just want to point it out.
Yeah, well,
I like getting my words in too.
No one cares. Hey, want to talk real quickly about how we've been on the Iowa train since the season started. Okay, Iowa was put in our top 25 rankings, my top 25 rankings.
Can we talk about the girl in Iowa State?
No.
She's a tank.
We're talking about Iowa right now, not Iowa State. Not talking about women's basketball. We can talk about them during the tournament time. That's when we can talk about women's basketball. But Iowa University currently find themselves undefeated. Okay, find themselves probably getting ranked in the polls this week. I want to say here first that the Dudes Sports Podcast were the first ones on top of Iowa, ranking them, putting them everywhere. Everybody else, nobody put them up there. No one took the chance on the Hawkeyes, and we saw that last year.
That's where Isaiah goes.
Yeah, so that's Drake. Last year with Drake, we were like, they're gonna be good, they're gonna be good, they're gonna be good, and they were really good. And now what are we saying about Iowa? At the beginning of the preseason, they're gonna be good, they're gonna be good. They got the same guys there. I know they're going to the Big Ten, and they're gonna probably lose a few more games, but they're going to the Big Ten. That's all that matters. They're really good. They just beat Ole Miss. Bennett Sturtz, if you have not seen this kid play basketball, and I am biased because he's from a guy from my local community, he is a top 15 NBA draft pick. He went 6 from 8 from 3 from 29 points against Ole Miss. I mean, this guy just draws you to sleep, a few crossovers, and then he just hits a 3 right in your mouth. It doesn't matter. He is a great bona fide shooter. That's what you're looking for in the NBA. A guy that can create plays. He's a great passer. He really helped them win against Ole Miss. He did kind of struggle a little bit against GCU. Didn't have a great shooting performance. But guess who had a great shooting performance? Main man from way out west. Our boy Isaiah ended up with the game leading 19 points to help them win the championship, to go undefeated as well. McCollum trusts him in the last, 3 minutes of the game, which is really awesome to see as a sophomore. I think he's going to be a McCollum guy for the rest of his college career. I'm hoping so. He'll be one of those face guys next year once Bennett's there. Hopefully this trajectory continues to go up. Big Ten's a really great conference this year. Obviously they have Purdue. They have Michigan State, who is really, really good. They've got Illinois, who is really, really good. Nebraska seems to be kind of coming back a little bit. USC has looked really good. UCLA has looked really, really good. So there's definitely some competition in there, but don't sleep on the Hawkeyes. I just want to bring that up. We do have some new changes up in this top 25. I'll go quickly kind of through this, and then I'll give you my top 5. I brought St. John's all the way down to 25. They've lost 2 games already. You got Indiana at 24. Chad Baker-Mazara and USC bringing in the rankings at 23. Nebraska, Cornhuskers up at 22. Auburn stays at 21. Iowa jumps to 20. I've got Arkansas at 19. Texas Tech at 18. Kentucky at 17. Illinois at 16. Tennessee at 15. Houston, after 1 loss, but a pretty bad loss. And they almost did lose to Syracuse. They dropped to 14. 1 tick below than the Jayhawks. I have them at 13. North Carolina 12. Bama 11. Gonzaga 10. Iowa State 9. Deal with the cold here, guys. Try to figure this out. Iowa State at 9. Michigan State at 8. Louisville at 7. BYU at 6. Top 5. Some familiar names, but a few have moved their way in. I've got UConn at 5. Still there. Big test against KU. Hopefully DP is back so they can beat UConn, because Dan Hurley is the worst thing to ever happen to college basketball. Duke has found themselves at number 4. Michigan, after an impressive few wins, find them at 3. Purdue hasn't done anything wrong, but they're going to be at number 2. And I've got Arizona as the number 1 team in the nation right now, just because of their performance, being able to beat these top 10 schools. They've looked the best, other than maybe you could say Michigan, in these few short weeks of college basketball. Obviously, Duke's got a big game coming up here. A few big games. KU's got
We play Michigan in February. I can't wait.
That'd be a really good one, too. There's our college basketball segment. We'll bring it back this next week. There's a few great games on Tuesday, Thursday, stuff to kind of watch. Is going to be... it's going to be Iowa playing Michigan State on Tuesday. Or that's just, yeah, on Tuesday, which will be really cool to see. KU plays UConn. Duke plays Florida. That'll be really interesting. Purdue. And then we got North Carolina and Kentucky. And then on Wednesday, you've got North Carolina
Duke and
State
KU have
Auburn.
the same amount of ranked teams on their schedule as of right now, so I don't want to hear anything else about Big Ten versus.
Well, there's a
Big 12
difference because
versus
the ACC is so weak that you're not going to play as many good conference games. You're just not. It's not.
Yeah, but our out of conference schedule is on par or better than yours. We
Yeah,
have the
you're
same
right.
amount of
100%.
ranked
Yeah,
teams.
on non-con.
So we make up for it.
Yeah. We'll see.
We're the best team in the fucking country.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter until we get to
No,
March,
I-
anyways.
yeah,
So why do you care about
no.
my opinion? You don't care about my opinion, anyways. Why does it even matter right now if I don't have him as number 1? It don't matter.
Because it does make me feel sad to see you be wrong so often.
I'm not that wrong that often. It's not even that way all the time.
Oh.
All right, whatever. We're done talking about Duke, bro. That's some stupid crap. All right, what do you want to talk MLB stuff? I mean, there's not a lot I can talk about here.
Brandon Nimmo, mi corazón, mi corazón.
Yeah. Trade gone. Gone from
Love
the
you,
Mets.
Brandon. Lindor, I don't know. He might be traded. I'll throw that out there just so.
Just
You know,
kind of
you want to know
rustle
why I
some
really
feathers.
think Nick Howard is talking crazy about me saying that about Lindor? Is because he was hoping it could be rage bait. He was hoping that when Lindor did get traded, that it would cut to my soul. But I think it shows a lot of maturity on my end that I'm willing to accept these kind of things. Because typically in the past, and if you're listening to me, Darren Mogi or David Stearns, if you trade Brett Beatty or Garrett Wilson, I'm going to kill you and then kill myself.
They were just like demonetized on YouTube.
Oh, how much money were we making for this one?
Hey, maybe we could have made some money. I don't know.
We're almost an hour. We're just past an hour, in, so we're
We're
good.
fine.
They're not listening to that anymore. So yeah, what are you gonna do about baseball? That's all baseball. I think we'll get a couple pitchers. Got to get a new outfielder. Maybe Carson Bench. I'd really like Scooble. Just get a pitcher to say fuck you to the rest of the league, right? Just get a really good pitcher, man. I do want Sanga still. Sanga says that he wants to stay in Matt. But also, if they trade anybody, it could go either way, and that's kind of how I started this show. But it could be something really crazy or nothing, or something not so crazy, but a little bit switch it up, right? Because you got to switch it up a little bit. You ran back. I mean, no, been on the team for 9 years. I think. I think his rookie year was the year after that sweatshirt. Like,
Yeah.
and nothing really happened with it. Like we had that good year 2 years ago, but if nothing's gonna work with it, then you gotta mix it up. And I don't know. I don't know how I feel about Marcus Simeon. But
Yeah.
Brett
Yeah,
Beatty
it's-
probably doesn't play second base this season, which I don't know. That like kind of lowers his spot. I thought that he could be a really good second baseman, Brett Beatty, but I guess he'll be the third baseman. I don't know if Pete's back. But what are you gonna do? Who are you gonna replace these guys with? Just a whole bunch of prospects? Oh Marcus! Oh Marcus! Oh Marcus!
Yeah, I don't know. It's a real interesting dilemma they've got there over there. I know the Royals are looking for an outfielder. They've got a few pitchers that they could maybe expend. You know, Bubic on his last kind of year. Maybe you can find something. Maybe get another outfielder. I'd like to get somebody better than India at second. But we'll have to. Obviously, this is winter meetings time, getting close. We've maybe some trades. I thought the offseason or the free agency list isn't as stacked as it was last year. Could still see some interesting trades come by, but we'll talk more and more. We'll be, especially when the other dudes are on, because those guys can definitely keep you entertained here. We didn't have any UFC. We do have UFC 323. We got Mirab fighting Petr and we've got.
Yeah, we didn't talk. There was no fights
Pantoja
last week
and
on,
Joshua
but there
Van.
was fights the weekend before.
Yeah, that was
We did win money with Carlos Prates. Armand Tuskerian's really good. They did announce some other cool stuff in that division. They have, because Ilya is going up to fight, they have Justin Gaethje versus Paddy Pimblett
for the belt.
for interim. Ian Gary's pretty good. Orubai, super awesome. He got that win, even though I didn't necessarily think I'd like Orubai, but I didn't think he was going to win. Ozdemir, Waldo Cortez, Koji, Samil Ghazayev, Luke Riley, Nicholas Dalby, Asu Azamayev. He's super fun to watch. I like him. Flyweight, best division. Yeah, really, really fun bout in Abu Dhabi a couple weeks ago. But what we've got coming up is pretty cool. UFC 323. It's is this the last pay-per-view of ESPN?
Yes.
Muy Triste.
No, this is the first one at Paramount.
No, it's December. It's next weekend. What are you talking about?
I thought it was on Paramount this week.
No, it's on. Paramount doesn't start till January.
Oh,
Fool.
okay. Well, you got Mirab, you got Pantoja.
Yeah, and Pantoja versus Van, that'll be a fun fight. Moreno's on the card versus Tassiro Tyra. That'll be a fun fight.
Talbot
Cejudo versus
Cejudo.
Talbot. That one will be interesting to say the least. Bogdan Gusov versus Jan Blachowicz is kind of a cool fight. Manuel Torres, Terrence McKinney, Chris Duncan. Macy Barber's fighting for the first time since that weird thing.
If Vittori's still fighting.
Yeah, Marvin Vittori versus Bruno Ferreira. Take Bruno right now. Edson Barboza versus Jalen Turner. Ibo Aslan, he's super fun. And then Iwo Barneski, he's this little Polish guy who's pretty fun to watch. Mansour Abdul Malik is really awesome. There's a lot of cool fights on this card as well. So exciting fight coming up next week. This upcoming weekend. The weekend after that, we've got a fight night. Brandon Royval versus Manuel Kopp. That's got some kind of beef going on. I'm sure we'll be on before that. But
yeah,
I
next week for
don't
sure.
think
We can preview that next week. I'll definitely be on next week.
Yeah, and then we will take off for the holidays for UFC, and then we don't have anything until the end of January, and that's UFC 324, Paddy versus Gaethje.
Yep.
So UFC, fun stuff always. Support sport. We've got overtime going on right now. Washington down 7.
Yep, we'll have to wait and see on that. We do our final wrap-ups here.
Tuesday Sports is getting over before Sunday Night Football.
That's crazy. We don't have the guys here to, Case Stelt's not here to run his mouth for 55 minutes of the podcast.
Oh my God, Debo.
All
Debo
this
just
stuff.
got tackled at the 1.
So we do our final little wrap up here. P4, what is your final words to the people?
On this show, I'm a man from way out west. Yeah, just super exciting stuff. Always glad to get on here and talk some sports. Super fun. Not a bunch of the chat, but I saw some of you guys poke in and out of here. So awesome. Just keep supporting us. We want to keep on giving you guys some of the news, and we're talking behind the scenes about how it can make it better to get more dudes on here, or maybe give you guys more content to get or whatever we want to do. But we'll be here on Sundays for sure, and hanging out, watching football with you guys is always fun. I know PC's real excited for the college basketball coming up, even though the inevitable's going to happen. Duke Blue Devils, John Shire cutting down the nets. Oh my gosh. Could you, Cam Boozer and Caden Boozer, and they're all like, oh my gosh. And then they all get drafted to the Suns. I love when Duke players
Suns
do
don't
good on
have a
the
first
Suns.
round pick, so it doesn't even matter. They can't even get drafted with the Suns. The Suns have no draft capital until 2032. So.
Oh, well, that's good. Duke will still be good then, too. Successful rage bait by me this evening. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Goodbye, folks. Go Jets.
This has been your Dude Sports Podcast. We go online 9:30 Central Time, 7:30 for you West Coasters. And we'll see you next time.